Hello again. In 1965, the BBC broadcast a play called Fable. This showed an imaginary version of Britain in which black people ruled the country and white people were treated as second-class citizens. All the police were black and white people were subject to arbitrary arrest for the most trifling of reasons. It was a dystopian vision which shocked by reason of its completely bizarre version of an alternative world. It starred, incidentally, the guy who went on to play Patrick Truman in EastEnders. 60 years later, the unthinkable has happened, and the fantastic world shown in that play has now come the reality. The thumbnail to this video shows a scene from the play of black police officers detaining a white woman. In the description to this video, I give a link to the play in question, and I also give a link to a clip of film which might easily have been taken from that imaginary 1965 version of Britain. This clip of film shows a white woman in London being handcuffed and arrested by various police officers of colour for feeding pigeons. Those of us who have tried in vain to persuade the police to attend our homes to investigate a burglary or report of a stolen car or some other crime will perhaps be surprised to see how many uniformed people are milling around the middle-aged woman who had allegedly been feeding the birds. Older viewers will remember when feeding the pigeons in Trafalgar Square was a highlight of taking children to London for the day. These days, it's likely to end up with you being led away in handcuffs. We remember too the scene from Mary Poppins with the old woman sitting on the steps of St Paul's Cathedral, selling bags of crumbs to feed the birds. She too would have faced having her hands cuffed behind her back and being taken down to the police station for her actions. It was probably no more than an unfortunate coincidence that the police officers surrounding the woman who was arrested in the London district of Harrow happened to be people of colour, but it certainly gives a strange impression. And why did it take so many of them to deal with a single middle-aged woman who was not violent or abusive, but simply stood there bewildered as events spiraled out of control? All for feeding the birds. If anybody doubts that the Britain in which we now live has changed so very dramatically in recent years, I can only point out the truly extraordinary case to which I have drawn attention here, as well as the eerie similarities between that fantasy from 1965 and the reality of London today.